It is Wednesday, May the 1st, 2019. The altcoin recovery has picked up a little bit, but this Ichimoku cloud in Bitcoin may be a sign of trouble. Welcome to the Crypto Bull Market Watch, episode number 127. In this daily episode, we're going to look at the Poloniex bull-bear ratio, the Binance pass-fail pie chart, and then we're going to look at pardon me, the magic of live. We're going to look at coin market cap, and then we're going to take a look at your coin requests at the end. Hey, JC Denton, good to have you along. Thank you very much. Before we get going, take a quick look at our disclaimer. You can pause the video to read through that or click on a link in the description below for all the details. Just before we jump into things, I want to stop and say hello to our community each day at this time. And we're having a special on the book right now where you can save 80%. There is a link in the description down below and you can check that out. Now let's jump right into the bull market watch. So the chat is working along the side. I see it's pulling into the video. So we've got a few of the technical bugs worked out now. That's awesome to see. What we're starting off looking at here today is Bitstamp Bitcoin price. And we're looking at the Ichimoku cloud because the prices have come up. They came down through the cloud and I thought that was pretty bearish, but they've poked just above the cloud here, which is pretty good if they keep going. It's good in relative to what's going on over here on Bitfinex, which still is showing us that divergence, but it is showing this double top and almost ready to break right out of here. Looking fantastic. So we'll keep an eye on that as the show goes along. Let's jump quickly over and see this divergence that is still going on. This is Bitstamp in the foreground with the candles and Bitfinex in the background with the area chart. So we can see that divergence is still in place from 12 o'clock there on the 26th, between the 25th and 26th, as the Tether scandal did its thing. So that divergence is staying intact, which is something I just want to watch all the time, every episode, just to pay attention to it and monitor it as it goes. So as this is breaking higher, it's still not making new highs in Bitstamp. And this is kind of worrisome that it is still not making new highs where Bitfinex is breaking out to new highs. We'll follow along with that. So here is the trading volume in Bitcoin over the last couple days. This was the big Bitstamp, the big Tether issue here where we had the big dump, and prices, our Bitcoin volume has been sort of fading back a little bit. Now, the main thing in this show is to go over the bull-bear ratio of all of the cryptocurrencies. And you can see this is our chart for that. There is a link now below the video in the description, so you can go right to this spreadsheet and follow along with this data as it goes from day to day. And the results today have already been put in. I've entered the data and we can see that the bearishness has ticked back a little bit. It's less bearish, but the bullishness has not ticked up. And the reason is this chart doesn't show the neutral market, this white graph in the middle. And you can see just over the last couple of days, the number of coins that have turned neutral is increased, where the number of reds have decreased, the numbers of failed markets. And you can follow along with this. That's right too. I got to have this set up in the other screen. You can follow along with this. There we go. Each day I'm updating this, the color coding. So we can see here May 1st, I went through and I've updated this for each of the coins, and we can start to watch for some patterns. We can start to watch for some patterns from the top down as things are going from bearish to more bullish, as we're going from neutral to an alert in burst coin, as we're going from near fail to neutral is a tick up, as we're going from near fails in these markets and they're moving up to a neutral stance, that is more bullish. So as we're watching these color codes change from day to day, it'll let us know the overall bullishness and bearishness of the market and everything that's going on Poloniex. So you can just log in, click on the link below, and you go directly to this spreadsheet. You can follow along from day to day as this color coding changes. And you also get this tools for cryptocurrency traders sheet in the middle here that is a collection of all the stuff that I like to go back to on a regular basis. So when I find another good one, I always stick it in here. So those are some resources that'll be changing and updating from day to day. You can click on that link and grab it. The next slide I want to go over from day to day and keep track of is the pie chart here. And you can see that on April 24th, I had this brainstorm to go through all these markets on Bitfinex and see if they were a pass, a near fail, or a fail, to see the bullishness bearishness ratio of this market as well. And over the days, this has been changing. So we had 57 of the markets that were passing. They were okay, but it went down to 49. It's bounced back a little bit, bounced back up to 59 markets that are passing now, which means that they're above the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. 49 of them, however, are still warnings, and we saw on Poloniex that more of them have moved from fail up to the middle, the sort of the middle range. But on Binance, there are a lot of markets that are on the very edge right now, and we can take a look at through some of those charts that, even though they're warnings, they are so close to fails that it's hard to put them in that category. Next thing I want to go over on a regular basis so that I can go back myself and watch this video and on a specific day and see what was I thinking. Like on April the 2nd was an important day to have done a video. What I've been noticing in this recently, as I'm taking a look at this, is altcoins made a low on September the 12th. October the 11th, they made another low. November the 15th is when things broke down lower. And each time that Bitcoin hit strong dominance, the altcoins were crashing to very deep lows. So here we are again at a strong dominance for Bitcoin, and altcoins are down at a significant low. So yes, there is a button to just clear it off. Good. Should this break these levels, all the altcoins are going to be crashing down further from where they are. And we'll see that happening in this altcoin market cap from day to day. As we are watching this unfold and this trend line gets broken again, then the altcoins are going to be coming down. We also can draw a line all the way along any of these support and resistance levels now. Wasn't the spot that I really wanted to draw it. Certainly along these levels here, this is a very strong support and resistance level for this chart. And we'll watch this dominance. No, this is the altcoin market cap from day to day. Pretty concerned about that level right there, actually. Alrighty. Now, that runs through pretty much what I want to do on a regular basis through this show. So I want to go over the Poloniex bull bear market ratio. And then I want to go over the Binance pass fail, the pie chart. So this one is the pie chart. I want to go over that, and I want to review this to see how many of them are passing, how many are in the warning, so that we can see this switching from side to side and get to know what's actually going on there. Then I want to go over the altcoin market cap and the Bitcoin dominance, which are these two charts here. This chart here, which is the Bitcoin dominance. Should this break higher, alts are going lower. And we know that trend. And we're going to be watching for this trend to be changing directions. On the other hand, if this breaks lower from here, we'll be watching for alts to be bouncing up. So that is a key chart. Then the altcoin. Watch for this one to be breaking down lower. Then the altcoins are going to be going down as well. We have a couple different main charts to be telling the difference between altcoins going up and altcoins going down. We're watching this to see if it breaks out. And the other thing that I want to go over each day is these 4 charts, which are Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Stellar, all of them on Bitfinex right now. And the reason I want to go over these is so that we are comparing the same thing day after day, and we can draw in some important trend lines that if things break, we know that we're in for some big moves. And I'm waiting for these, especially these 3 markets, to confirm. I was drawing this out yesterday. I'm waiting for these to confirm above this level and give us some support above these levels. If I drag this one back and draw this in, I want it to go above this triangle that I drew earlier 2 weeks ago now. That's a key level. And I'm waiting for those things to occur. The 4-hour chart. This one has a ways to go. It's got a ways to go to get back above that support and resistance level, and it could fight it for a while before it actually goes. Alrighty. Here we are with the Ichimoku cloud breaking out higher. And the reason this is a warning is that this is showing strength in Bitcoin on Bitfinex, and it's showing strength in Bitcoin breaking higher than this on Bitstamp. So they're both showing parallel strength, but it's going to get even more crazy when Bitstamp breaks above this former high. So that happening is definitely going to make the Bitcoin dominance break above these levels that it hasn't broken above in a while, and that will cause all of our cryptos to cascade down, I'm thinking. Now, I want to dig into some of these altcoin charts so that we can see some of them that appear to be a promising consolidation pattern that may be breaking higher, but instead it is a consolidation and going to go lower. It's getting ready to go down. And the way I want to do that is to go over to the Ichimoku cloud and take a look at this, because this is the master of telling us when to go short in a downtrend. When you're coming into the cloud and then breaking out of it, as the, which one is faster and slower now? The red is the baseline, the blue is the conversion line. So as the blue crosses over the red and we're coming out of the cloud, that is a sell moment right there. So as this is consolidating back, now as it's breaking lower than this, it would become another sell signal. So I want to go through a few of these. Now, I haven't looked over at the chat. So JC Denton, good to see you here. Willie WDS, good to see you here. Add a like and get some good coin karma. That's right. I hope this new format is working out. I want to go through this data every day, for selfish reasons, because I believe this is going to give me personally the edge in knowing when markets are going to be changing direction. And so I've brought up Dash, and there's Bitcoin in the background. The trouble is with this chart, I've got it set up, it's very difficult to see the dates and everything. And the one thing that I'm pointing out here as I'm pulling this chart back and trying to get it prepared is the difference between when Bitcoin is going up and the altcoins are going down. So as Bitcoin is going up in stages here, what am I looking at? I'm looking at Doge. That's not what I wanted. Dash. May 2016. So Dash is a different beast than Doge, where it was changing directions often. Right in this spot here, right in this spot, we can see Bitcoin and Dash switching directions. This is making a top, this is making a bottom. Then we have a bottom in Bitcoin and a top in Dash, and they're switching directions. They're reversing one against the other. Pardon me. I'm happy to share. I'm not as fluent at reading this chart, and I don't have it set up properly so the color coding is good so I can see the details. This is a much cleaner chart for me to work with. And this trend breaking higher from here is pretty amazing. But it's a freaky moment as well. It's right at the time where it could be switching direction for both of them. There's our top formation in Bitcoin and our bottom formation in the altcoin. Now let's dig into a few of these BitShares 1 year view. The reason I'm going through these and saying it's a fail or a near fail is essentially the big bottom formation. If it breaks down below this bottom formation, it's a fail. If it's right on the edge, it's a near fail. So there's so many of these markets. There's some 30 markets in Binance that are so close to the edge that a couple ticks down lower and they would have been marked fails. So I think that if Bitcoin is breaking out, the alts are going to suffer. And so all of these alts that are at these formations, they may look good as we get into these closer, but they are the most dangerous right now. And I think that the alts are going to be going down lower. Clam is an exception, and I couldn't tell you why. Here's another one that is so close to a near fail. It's actually down to a fail level. It's down to new lows that we haven't seen. And I don't think I can bring up the altcoin dominance in the background of this chart. That would be handy. I'll see if I can later. Dash. Let's see what's going on with Dash right now. So it has come back and held, but nicely above December lows, right at September lows. So if we go back to that Bitcoin dominance chart, and I want to go back to December 2000, right there. Matches up with right here. As the Bitcoin dominance was coming up to that height, Dash prices were coming down to that low. Bitcoin dominance was coming up as Bitcoin prices were going down. So alts were crashing faster than Bitcoin at this time. Bitcoin was crashing in price and altcoins were crashing faster. Now the Bitcoin dominance is higher at the same level. And Dash is a little higher. So one of the things we work on this channel is the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, the trading plan that we work on. And you can get that trading plan by going over to the spreadsheet. There's a link in the spreadsheet where you can go and download that. It's in the main page. The main crux of it is that we're waiting for the break of the downtrend line, which we have here. Then we're waiting for the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation to shape up. And we have the number 1 point, we have the number 2 point, but we don't have the number 3 point yet. And then we're also waiting for the exponential moving average crossover to occur in the 12-hour time frame. And the reason we have all of those three things is to filter out fake out breakouts, to keep us out of the market when there's no clear direction. We're trying to wait until the market has actually changed direction and the tide has showed us again that it is swimming out forward. That's just this strategy. There's many other different ways to trade the markets. Many people will buy on the fade as it's coming down to historical support and resistance levels. That's a logical place for them to try a trade. And this trading system doesn't do those entries. Those are a different trading strategy. So now the danger with this is that we're trading against the trend. The trend is on its way down. And many times as we're going down the trend, it'll consolidate. It'll look like a great 1, 2, 3 bottom formation only to break out slightly and then pull all the way back. So these are dangerous to start off with, but then over a long period of time, they become very profitable. So you can put on a small position to start off with and add onto it safely. We'll go over adding onto the positions again later in the months to come as this moves along. So Decreed has made 1, 2 bottoms from December, just bottomed here and a little bit higher even as Bitcoin is moving up. So this one is a pass. It's not a buy because we don't have a clear breakout of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And even on the 1-day chart, there's no moving average crossover. It's going to be a while yet before this one can give us that simple trading plan signal. Digibyte down to new lows. So this is a complete fail. Really a surprising fail to me as well. Because earlier in the year, I was so gung-ho on this market as it was making this massive consolidation triangle, especially as it was breaking out from here. It made this triangle and then broke higher. I thought, here it goes. This is it. We're taking off right here now, July, early August. I was anticipating that this is the turnaround. Everything is going to be taking off. Get ready. And not so much. And then again here, again in October, every time it comes down to these potential bottom formations, it's easy to get excited and to take a position on it. But then you have to have protection rules because we are going against the trend, and the trend is your friend. So it's a dangerous strategy, and you have to have those risk control rules so that you know how to protect yourself in these trades. Doge, it is actually broken the pattern I was seeing earlier. I was seeing this great big sled building up, and then maybe this is a ski sticking out. I don't know. It's not looking good for Doge right now. It's got some work to do in order to give us a trading signal again. So if I go to the 3-month view, the downtrend line, you've got to find 3 places. The exponential moving average crossover is going to take a while to go. It's a risky one to be getting into it now. It's going to take a little bit of turning around to do. And if Bitcoin's taking off and all the altcoins are coming back, then I wouldn't want to be taking a position prematurely in any of these markets. It's just a higher risk thing to do. EOS looks like a top formation here, even though it's at this historical support and resistance that I really like. It's kind of making a potential little bottom formation here, like a 1, 2, 3 bottom. It is kind of doing it, and if it breaks out higher, it actually is a legitimate trade signal from here. It'll take a while for those exponential moving averages to cross over, though, and certainly in the 12-hour bar, it's going to be a while before that exponential moving average can cross over. It's just not going to rock. So it's really looking like there's a lot of waiting to do, a lot of nothing to do. It's not time for this trading plan to take any action. So we're scanning through and always trying to keep ready for it. But if there's any action to take, it is getting out of these things that are breaking down, out of the alts that are breaking down through past any kind of support and resistance, no matter where it is. And here's a market that might be an exception. Factum. It's consolidating. It's got a while to go before it's going to be crossing over this, and we can see that it's pumped up and then come right back. Pumped up and just crossed over and then come right back. So it's a risky one to be getting in on the breakout. Have to watch close on it. However, a swing trader would say, look, it's got 1, 2, 3 times off this. We got higher lows. It's taking off from this right now. This is the far less risky place to be buying. This would be the best, most risky place to be buying out of the top, because look how many times it's pulled back. So we have to have that awareness of the range that the price can move. Keep your position size small enough that the price can move back that whole range without being a huge damage to your overall account. And never put on your full position to begin with. Always plan to add on to your position after it's proven you correct. Foam is down at lows. It's nice that it's at a double low here, but it's got more development to do to give us a 1, 2, 3. Most everything is fading off. Look at this. It's broken that technical support and resistance. Gas. Double lows, consolidating. Now, if you're going to be using this bottom formation strategy on a tight time frame like this, you really can, but then you got to be following right away with your stop losses, because they often blast off and pull back so quickly out of these really small formations on the 1 hour bars. And just from my own experience, that and back testing afterwards to see what I should have done, it always turns out that if I would have erred on the side of waiting and for those 12-hour exponential moving average crossovers, it cleans up a lot of the errors. Small stream. I'm going to continue on doing this format for a little bit longer, and then I'll switch a different format if it's not picking up. We were doing better on the previous format. It just took too long to prepare and get ready. I'm not sure this one takes less time to prepare and get ready, to have all of these different slides ready and these kind of reports where I've gone through everything in advance to report that. Might be better to do a pre-recorded thing so I can just do a 2-minute video, put it out there, and leave for comments afterwards rather than doing the live stream. I'll play around with that because I want to have these reports. I'll sign off here for today and give you guys a high five for tuning in.